Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here, back again. Another video. Let's jump straight into the topic today. Lamar Jackson and his contract extension, or failure to reach a contract extension. This is very important for Lamar, and he should not step another foot on any of the Ravens' practice field. Theoretically, he shouldn't even step a foot in the practice facility until he gets a new contract. And this is very, very important for him. Um, I've seen some stuff where I've seen that Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent. So the last thing that I've heard was that his mom um, like works as his agent. Now I don't know if she actually does like contract negotiations or whatnot. Um, she might work as his agent just in the like the clerical sense, like taking phone calls for him and such and such. But that's the last I heard, and he could have somebody else or he could be doing it himself. But as of right now, I know that he does not have an agent, and last I heard, his mom does his agent, his business that an agent would do. Now this is very significant, especially for Lamar Jackson in the position that he's in. You guys obviously know that he's a dynamic player at the quarterback position, and he has tools that other guys don't have. But that also opens him up to a lot of injuries as well too. And thankfully he hasn't really had like big injuries, like really season-ending injuries, but like his little injuries, I guess you can call them. They seem to last for a while. I mean, he is not he's not a big guy. He's a slender guy. He has put on some muscle since he's been in the league, but he has not. He's not a bigger dude. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Justin Herbert. He's smaller and he's slenderly built, muscular but slenderly built. So I think it's very, very important for him to come to a contract negotiation with the Ravens. And that has to be number one on his list this season. I know he was struggling with the ankle injury late in the season, last season, or this past season. And I think it hindered it hindered the progress that the Ravens had. The Ravens peaked, I think, I think it was like week 9, I want to say. They were like 6-2. They looked pretty good, and they looked like they were doing just Ravens things. They looked like they had looked the previous 2 years before, but the just the Ravens in general, the entire team they were hit with the injury bug really, really, really badly. Their entire backfield was hurt before week 1, before the season even started officially. They had injuries all across their defense. They're bringing guys up from the practice squad like crazy. They're signing guys off the street. They were doing a lot to compensate, personnel and roster-wise. So, I just think it was a very unlucky season that the Ravens had in general. But, I think Lamar Jackson, he needs to focus on, and, he by all accounts, he's a team guy. And that's why his teammates love him. That's why the fans love him. He's a team guy, and he is, a pretty good teammate. But in this instance, he needs to focus on himself. Specifically for him, his future going forward. You never want to, wish injury on guys or anything like that. But Lamar's style of play opens him up to injuries. And just like I said, he's literally built. So, he's not a guy who's going to, take a lot of punishment, for 17 games in the season, and including the playoffs, which the Ravens, they pretty much make every season, last year being a, kind of an aberration, but they are normally in the tournament, almost every season. So I think he has to focus on himself. He has to focus on getting this contract done. And as far as the amount and as far as like the years and all that stuff, I think he would be smart, since he doesn't have an agent. I think he would be smart to look at the contract that Josh Allen got in Buffalo, and then kind of go from there. Kind of negotiate as far as as far as years go. You can probably put him around the same type of money. Lamar Jackson he's won an MVP. He's been an MVP in this league, so he has that to his credit. He's still very very young too, and he has improved his passing every single season. Just like I said, that injury bug is really, it's really kind of stymied any of the progress that he's made. And this has been in several years as well too. But the one thing that he can't say is there haven't been really big injuries, ankle here and there, soreness or whatever, just, things like that, that are not, his knee's not blown out, or, he doesn't have the broken foot, and, the things that other guys who run the ball a lot deal with. So he does have that to his credit, but I think that should be the start of the contract. That should be the start, the Josh Allen contract, that framework, and then work it around to see what he can do. Maybe he can front load it, to be easy on the Ravens cap and their books and whatnot, or he can backload it. He can do a big signing bonus, whatever it is. There's different ways to kind of finagle the actual number, the cap number, and all of this stuff, and guaranteed money and such and such. But if he looks at that Josh Allen framework, I think the Ravens would do that Josh Allen deal for Lamar Jackson. I think the Josh Allen deal is big, but it's also team friendly as well too. It's not one of these. I mean, it is a huge deal, but it's team friendly. It gives the team flexibility. I think after like year 2 or 3 or something like that, so they can like restructure and move some money around and stuff if they want to, sign players and stuff like that. So I think the Ravens can really agree with that kind of contract structure. The thing is that the Mahomes deal is, I think it's in a lot of guys' minds. A lot of guys feel like they are as good or probably better than Mahomes. It's just the offensive weapons that he has, the coach that he has, such and such. So I think that is, and I don't want to say, I don't know, I don't have any inside information, but I would think that guys are looking towards that deal and not thinking that they're going to get that exact deal, but maybe doing something framework wise, like Patrick is getting like $500 million over 10 years or 12 years, whatever the deal was. Like, I think some of these guys are going to be looking at, maybe I can get $200 million, maybe I can get $250 over 7 years or whatever and stuff like that. So I think these deals are going to continue to get bigger and bigger. It just depends on who comes up. Like, he's up right now. Lamar is up right now. Baker is also up right now. But when you see when you see Justin Herbert come up, I think that's going to determine what the market is going to be like going forward for star quarterbacks. Lamar is like I said, he's in a league of his own. He's kind of 101. As far as a football player goes, and not just a quarterback, but a football player. And like I said, he's getting better in the pocket. He's getting better passing and whatnot. But his focus needs to be on getting himself right for the future. Because if he does continue to run the ball as much as he does, and he does continue to rack up these injuries, even if they're not big injuries, even if they're nagging injuries, if he has all of these nagging injuries at the same time or whatever, it's certainly going to, shrink his playing career as far as the length of time goes. He's not going to be playing like Tom Brady. He's not going to be playing until he's 40. So I think he needs to set himself up now, get a good contract now, so that way he can set himself up for the future. You can only focus on one contract at a time, right? The only contract that you're playing under right now. So, I think he needs to focus on that right now before anything else. It's a little surprising to me that he doesn't have one. He should have had one at the beginning of last season, but you know, he did say that he was just focused on football, and because he doesn't have an agent, you know, the talks are just tabled, and you know, you can't. There's no way you can be quarterback, prepare for games week in and week out, and then you know negotiate your new contract at the same time. There's just no way. So you know, now is the time. You know, it's the off season. He's got 6 months to hammer a deal out, something fair for him, something fair for the Ravens, and you know, hopefully he does it. Hopefully he focuses on it. I know he loves football, but you know, at this point, you know, it's a business. The NFL is a business, man. And all these players, all 53 guys on the roster, they're all businessmen, and you know, they have to make the best decisions for themselves and their family, and they have to try to get as much money as they can get. You know, in a responsible manner. You know, not try to, you know, not try to take too much or you know, be seen as somebody who's greedy or whatever. But if you're a quarterback like Lamar is, if you've been an MVP, if you've you know played through injuries, if you've you know gained the respect of the locker room, you gain the respect of the front office, the fan base, whatever. You know, he deserves to be paid, and you know, I think it's incumbent on him to get that done as soon as he can. You know, still got a long way to training camp, still got a long time, but you know, every day he doesn't get a deal done, you know, the clock is going to be ticking. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully he gets a deal done. I think he will. Like I said, if he looks at the Josh Allen deal, you know, place that on the table, and then you can negotiate the framework around it. But it's a fair deal. You know, for both sides, it's a good amount of money, but it also gives the team flexibility as well. So, you know, he should look at that and you know, just go from there. But I hope, you know, for his sake, his family's sake, I hope he gets it done. Really hope he gets this deal done before he takes the field and you know does what he does. You know, which you know is electrify every week. But you know, I hope he gets it done. I really do. I really do. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this video here. If you like the content, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Got more coming. Thank you, guys.